Hello everybody, welcome to part 65 of Let's Play Pokemon White. So in the last part, we explored Victory Road a bit, and now we're going to continue to explore Victory Road. We left off in this cavern where we went outside and fell down a ledge, and I was going to use another repel, wasn't I? Yeah, I should do that before anything else, right? Okay, now that we're all max repelled up, let's go explore more of this cave and not have to worry about any more wild Pokemon. But we will have to worry about a trainer. Come on, trainer, battle me. Thank you. I feel like battling trainers, as was the title of part 24 of this Let's Play. And battling a bunch of really strong trainers is what Victory Road is really all about, isn't it? There are always trainers in Victory Road, no matter what game you're playing. So here's a Clang. Okay, that's an interesting Pokemon for that trainer to start off with. But that's not good for Iago, because all of Iago's attacks are going to not be very effective against that Clang, so I'm going to have to switch out to somebody. And in fact, I'm going to switch out to Fiendfire, just because Fiendfire is usually really good at handling these Clangs. Especially since Clang has pretty high defense, but probably not as hot special defense. And good, that Mirror Shot is not going to be very effective, because steel attacks are not very effective against fire Pokemon. So I think a couple of Flame Bursts should be able to take care of this Clang, or better yet, one Flame Burst, since Fiendfire has really high special attack, and Fiendfire got to level 45. Fiendfire is my first Pokemon to get level 45, and he gained 4 special attack points. So here's our Darmanitan, who is Fire type, therefore, this is a no-brainer. I'm gonna actually switch to Iago, because Iago knows Rock Slide, and therefore can take care of Fire type Pokemon pretty easily. At least I think he knows Rock Slide. I don't know if he still knows Ancient Power, or if he forgot that and plays at Rock Slide. Now he still knows Ancient Power, but that'll still work pretty well. In fact, I probably should teach Iago Rock Slide, because Iago has higher attack than special attack. Yeah, this Hammer Arm is going to lower it's going to actually lower Darmanitan's speed. It is really strong, though, so I'm going to have to use a healing on Iago after this, but I think a Crunch should still be able to take care of this Darmanitan. Yeah, it did. And Iago is going to get to level 44, better yet. So I think if I just use a Lemonade on Iago after this battle, then I'll be fine. And here's a Seismitoad. Seismitoad is going to be Water and Ground type, so I should switch to either Touch Me Not or Rapier. I gotta switch to Rapier. I'm going to use my trusty Rapier to drain this Seismitoad of its froggy powers. Yeah, I know that sounded kind of cheesy, but whatever. In fact, one attack that I taught Rapier when I was coming back here was Work Up, so I'm going to use that really quick, so that on the next turn, then it can have its Giga Drain be even stronger, and then drain and recover any HP that it may have lost. But no, that Seismitoad is just going to use Rain Dance, which may raise its speed, because sometimes Seismitoad have the Swift Swim ability, but I'm not too worried about it. No, Rapier's still faster. I don't know if that Swift Swim ability did activate for Seismitoad, if Seismitoad even have that ability. Well, whatever, Seismitoad fainted, so that's all that matters, right? And we defeated that trainer, so I guess he had no more Pokemon. But oh well. Let's see, where should I go now? Let's see what's out here. There was an item up over to the left, so I'm gonna see what that item is. What is the item? It's a full heal. Okay, all this wages for a stupid full heal. Well, gee, that was eventful. Okay, let's see what's this way then. Here we have 2 slopes we can go down. Let's see what going to the left does. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't go to the right. That would have taken me just further down. Let's see what's in here. Oh, that was the way that it just came out of earlier, I guess. Okay. I don't know where I am. I don't know where the heck I am. Let's try going down the slope to the right rather than to the left. Okay, that wouldn't have done anything. Let's see what's in this cave. Okay, there's the item that we got earlier. This is a calcium. And now we're back at the doctor, just in case we need to heal our Pokemon. In fact, that'll be good, because I remember Iago being low on HP, so he really needs this doctor. Yeah, this is getting kind of annoying, wandering through Victory Road like this, but hopefully we'll make it out. Okay, so the left just took us to an item, so let's see what going down to the right does. Okay, so it gets us into this cave, which I guess we couldn't get to any other way. And here we have a way that we can go up, and we have another trainer. Good, Iago can use some more experience, so let's give Iago some more experience by battling this trainer. What is this trainer, a veteran or a worker or something? I don't know what this kind of trainer this is. This is a veteran. Alright, I was right the first time. And And this is a Gigalith. Well, this is a Pokemon we've never seen before. Gigalith is the evolved form of Boldore, and Boldore can only evolve to Gigalith via trade, so I couldn't evolve Brock when I did, because I'm not allowed to trade in this game because I'm playing on an emulator. But the Pokemon I'm going to use for this is Rapier, just because Rapier can resist any rock attacks that the Gigalith tries to use. That Gigalith will probably have the Sturdy ability, so Rapier will probably not be able to one-shot it, but that's alright. See, it's using Stone Edge, and that'll not be very effective against Rapier. But that was a critical hit. Fortunately, Rapier does know Giga Drain, though, so that's good. Alright! That pretty much had to be a two-shot. It didn't really matter if that Gigalith had... If that Giga Drain does more damage, because Gigalith probably had the Sturdy ability anyway. And here's another Pokemon we've never seen before, Electros. Electros is the fully evolved form of Tynamo, so this is what Kula would have evolved into had we used a Thunderstone on it. So unfortunately, I do not have any Ground-type Pokemon in my party, so Rapier is probably going to be the best Pokemon to use, just because it'll resist all of Electros' electric attacks, so I'm just going to keep battling, unless something bad happens to Rapier or something. I don't know what'll happen. Okay, unfortunately, Rapier fainted. But Electros is going to take some damage, but I didn't expect Rapier to survive that anyway. So instead, I'm going to send out, well, somebody fast. I'm going to send out Iago, just because Iago's fast. I know it'll be suicide to use Iago for this in any other circumstance, just because he's Flying type. But I think an Ancient Power should be able to take care of that Electros pretty good. And I think after this battle, I'm just going to immediately have Iago, and hey, Iago's stats all raised. That's really nice. Unfortunately, I don't think that Veteran has any other Pokemon, so I don't think that's going to matter. But hey, Iago got to level 45. That's always nice. And he's trying to learn U-turn. I guess I'll forget it. I don't think he really has much use for agility, so I'm just going to have him forget that. Iago's already pretty fast, so he doesn't really need it. But U-turn's kind of nice to have, I guess. Yes, I was right. That was the last Pokemon he had, just after we got a stat boost from Ancient Power. Ah, well. So, what am I going to do now? I was going to do something. Oh, yes, I was going to teach Rock Slide to Iago. He's like, way overdue for learning that. I do have a TM for Rock Slide, don't I? Yes, I do. Alright. Because Iago has higher attack than special attack, even though he does have pretty high special attack, too. So, and Rock Slide has more base damage anyway, and more PP. So, I think I'm just going to replace Ancient Power with it. Yay! Iago learned Rock Slide, finally. And Rapier unfortunately fainted in that battle, but I don't think that's going to matter ultimately that much. So let's see what's up here. This, I believe, is actually the exit to Victory Road. If we go off to the left, I think that's where Terrakion is, but I don't think I'm quite ready to fight Terrakion yet. Actually, let me see if I'm right really quick. Let's see if the path to the left is where Terrakion is. Well, we have a place where we have to use a Strength Boulder. That's good, because if I do this, then I won't have to put Lassie in the party by the time I face Terrakion. One of these paths at least will lead to Terrakion, and I actually think it's this path off here that leads to Terrakion. Yes, I was right. This is the Trial Chamber, and there's Terrakion right there, but I don't feel like battling Terrakion just yet. Instead, let's battle another trainer. And my Repel wore off. Let's battle this trainer before we do anything. I guess we just battled that trainer. Yeah, so there's a patch of dirt over there. Let's see what's in it. And it's an Ice Gem! Yay, Ice Gem. Which I think will, like, temporarily boost the power of ice attacks. Ah. Yeah, that was another Durant, and I don't feel like using any more repels because we're near the end of the cave anyway. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go catch Terrakion. So actually, let's see what this trainer has to say. It looks like there's an item down there, but it's such a long way. Do you have the courage? I don't know. Maybe I do. Yeah, why not? I still have a little bit of time, so I'm gonna go back to the slope and see what that item is. I don't see the item. Oh, here's the item. Let's see what the item is. See if it was worth it. It's a TM for Wild Charge. Hooray! That is the attack that Electros used to KO Rapier. So I guess it's a good thing we had that. So where do we go back to? Just over here? Yeah, I think we can easily go back there. In fact, I think I'll pause the video right now and meet you right over back near the exit to Victory Road. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, Okay, I am back, and that really didn't take me that long to backtrack, but I did get to heal my Pokemon in between because the cavern I entered was where the doctor was. So now Rapier is no longer faded, and in fact, I'm gonna take the smoke ball away from Iago right now because I don't think he'll need it from now on. I'm gonna put Rapier back to being first in the party just for the heck of it. Even though I think just to head to the Pokemon Center, I can take out the team that I'll use to catch Terrakion with. Whoa! We get a fancy 3D cutscene! Hooray! And there's the entrance to the Pokemon League right over there. So the cool thing about this Pokemon League is that it's quite different from other Pokemon Leagues in the previous games. In the previous games, you had to fight the Elite Four one after another in a certain sequence, but as this guy will explain, the Pokemon League is a place where you both pursue strength and express it. The way to express it is simple. You just have to beat the Elite Four and the champion. You can start your challenge by beating any of the Elite Four, and if you defeat them all, you can challenge the champion. However, I warn you, once you start your challenge, there's no turning back. You must keep battling until you defeat them all, or are defeated yourself. Do you want to go in? No, not yet. There's no way I am prepared to fight the Elite Four right now. But as that guy might have hinted at, you see there are 4 doors right ahead, and there's a statue in the middle. So those 4 doors all lead to the Elite Four members. So in the previous games you had to fight the Elite Four all in a specific order, but in this game you can fight them in any order you want, so that is just really cool. And I'll be explaining who the members of the Elite Four each are, but that's gonna matter later. There's a Pokemon Center, I think, off to the left, right? The Pokemon League was every trainer's greatest challenge. We might want to prepare here, because if you lose even once, you'll have to start all over again. Yes, that is certainly true. So this, I think, is a Pokemon Center in which we don't even get the Pokemon Center music, but let's see what's in the Pokemart. Nothing much, just Pokeballs and Great Balls and Ultra Balls, and I probably should be buying a few Ultra Balls. Never mind, I think I have plenty of Ultra Balls. Although they'll probably all be wasted on Terrakion if I try to catch it. I do have a Master Ball as a last resort, but I think I'm gonna save that for other Pokemon. And I have 6 Dust Balls, and I have 6 Tiger Balls, so I don't think I'll need any more balls. Dust Balls will actually work pretty well on Terrakion because the area that's in is in a cave. And I think that honestly almost makes Virizion the hardest of the 3 Musketeers to catch, just because it's not in a cave. But right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out my false swiping team. Tell you what, while I decide on a team for battling Terrakion, I'm gonna stop the video. I'm gonna pause the video again. Okay, I am back in the trial chamber where Terrakion is, and I just saved the game. I made sure to do that, because I'm probably gonna try a few times, because the thing about Terrakion is there are a lot of attacks that are not very effective against it, there are a lot of attacks that are super effective against it, but hardly any attacks that'll be neutral to it. So, finding an attack that'll kind of be in the middle is going to be really hard. So the Pokemon that I have first in my party now is Sickness, which may sound a bit like Suicide because Terrakion has rock attacks, but Sickness does know Feather Dance, so hopefully this should work. Let's see. One thing I know is that flying attacks will be neutral to Terrakion. Oh my gosh, Terrakion broke my screen again! Yeah. So, the good thing about Terrakion, though, is that flying attacks will be neutral to it because it's rocket fighting type, but still, flying attacks are still going to be weak against rock attacks, so I'm going to have Sickness start off by using Feather Dance. And Terrakion, well, I thought Terrakion was faster for a second, but it turned out to just use Helping Hand, which has higher priority anyway. So let's see what low-rank Terrakion's attack power does. Heck, I'm going to do that again. Yeah, I guess Terrakion is faster. Well, I guess I could always switch to Fluffy and have Fluffy lower Terrakion's speed with something like Cotton's Core, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. I'm just gonna have Sickness use Fly. Yeah, so that Terrakion isn't even using Rock Slide. I know Terrakion knows Rock Slide, so I'm surprised that it's not using it yet. See, now it used it. Now when Sickness is in the air, that legendary Musketeer thing. Yeah, I'm gonna try that again. Yeah, it just used Helping Hand. Sickness is really lucking out to not being hit by Rock Slide. It tried to use Rock Slide again while Sickness was in the air. That is just weird. Yeah, but now I'm gonna have to switch. I'm gonna use Feather Dance again, just for the heck of it. Yeah, now it used Rock Slide against Sickness, but yeah. Hopefully that won't KO him. Yeah, no, it didn't. And I'm just gonna use Feather Dance a 3rd time, just to minimize Terrakion's speed. And now I'm going to see if I can use Roost, just for the heck of it. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yay, that worked! Just because for some reason I don't want Sickness to be at low HP. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch to Fluffy to lower Terrakion's speed. And Terrakion's attack power is now minimized, so hopefully this will be easier. I guess the other thing that makes Virizion kind of difficult is that it knows a mix of physical and special attacks, so it's kind of hard to resist damage to it. But I'm going to use Cotton Spore to lower Terrakion's speed, as I just said I was going to do. Yeah, Terrakion, you can use Rock Slide all you want, and now that it won't do a whole lot of damage. Terrakion, though, really has really high attack, though, so you kind of got to be careful of it. And I'm going to switch out to Chopper, and I probably should have given Chopper a Violite, but I guess I just didn't think about it at the time. Hopefully this won't be too hard. I don't know. Yeah, fortunately Chopper didn't take any damage that turn. But actually I'm going to use Dragon Dance a couple of times. And if Chopper's HP gets low, then I'm just going to use some healing attacks. Yeah, go ahead and use Rock Slide all you want. That didn't even do a lot of damage anyway, and that I think is your strongest attack next to Sacred Sword. I think Sacred Sword is Terrakion's strongest attack. I think Sacred Sword has higher base damage than Rock Slide does. Let's see if it does. Yeah, maybe a little higher, but not by much. I'm gonna use Dragon Dance one more time for good measure. I really want Chopper to have high attack because otherwise False Swipe will not be very effective. Yeah. Now we just gotta hope that Terrakion doesn't get a critical hit, right? But I think one more False Swipe should do it. And after this, I'm gonna switch to Mayflower and have her put Terrakion to sleep. Now it doesn't even matter if this is a critical hit, which it wasn't, but yeah. Now I'm gonna switch to Mayflower, like I just said I would do. This is kind of a no-brainer right here. I guess that was a good strategy, having Cygnus just minimize Terrakion's attack with Feather Bats. That was a good strategy. I like that idea. But let's have Mayflower put Terrakion to sleep. And this is a good thing because Mayflower will now not take very much damage, and I think she has Synthesis if I remember correctly, so that'll be good. Does she know Synthesis? Let me check real quick. Yeah, she does know Synthesis. Yeah, I should have remembered that from the battle with Virizion, in which she had to use it. But anyway, now I'm gonna try using a Dusk Ball, because I know those will work pretty good in caves. So let's see if this first Dusk Ball catches Terrakion. I kinda doubt it will. Terrakion will probably break out of a lot of balls before finally being captured, knowing this. Whoa! No! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I can't believe this! This like never happens! I caught Terrakion on the very first Pokeball! I never captured a legendary on the very first Pokeball! Oh my gosh! I cannot believe that just happened! Oh my gosh, that was like a lot easier than I thought it would be. But yes, as I explained before, I know exactly what to nickname Terrakion. I'm gonna use the same naming convention I used with Scimitar and Rapier. So Terrakion is really strong. It has really high special attack power, so I'm gonna name it after a sword that also has very high attack power, particularly because it's one of the heaviest swords around. So I named this Terrakion Claymore, after a really big heavy sword. Well, maybe not really big and heavy, but at least kind of big and heavy, and at least a really strong sword to have. And I just had Cygnus battle of Mienfoo to celebrate. But I didn't feel like having a battle the Woobat that just appeared. So if we can get out of this cave, I want to actually show you what Claymore is like, because the nature and such that Claymore has will probably be the deciding factor in whether I want to put Claymore on my team. But as I said, Claymore is rock and fighting type, so a pretty good type combination to have, actually. So let's hope that Claymore has a pretty good nature, although I probably will have a bad nature if I just was able to catch it in one Dusk Ball. But let's see if I'm right or not. Let's see what Claymore's like. Claymore is lonely, actually. That is a really good nature for a Claymore to have, because that'll raise his attack power even further than it normally is. Yeah, see, look at Claymore. It has really high attack power. So that attack is going to be its highest stat, and special attack is its lowest stat, which is good because it doesn't really use special attacks anyway. So it knows Helping Hand and Retaliate and Rock Slide and Sacred Sword, but you already saw its attacks while I was trying to catch it. So this is good. I really like Claymore's lonely nature. I'm definitely putting Claymore on my team. I think it'll probably be a little more useful than Rapier, which is good because we already saw Rapier battle a little bit. So I guess it's good that now Claymore gets a chance. So there is one more Pokemon that I want to try to catch before we actually start training for the Elite Four. Remember that storm that was present on Route 7 that the announcer at the entrance to Route 10 mentioned? I'm going to actually see what that storm is all about in the next part of Let's Play Pokemon White. So stay tuned for a bit of storm watching.